Oh snap, welcome back to the channel, y'all. My name's Patrick. If you like true crime, take a second, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Y'all, I just came across this one. You guys remember Courtney Clenney? She was the OnlyFans model that allegedly stabbed her boyfriend to death. Yeah, remember this one? Y'all, I just saw her parents got arrested for allegedly, I guess, tampering with evidence. Are you serious? I just saw this video. Let's go ahead and check it out.
We have new developments in the OnlyFans model murder case against defendant Courtney Clenney. Her parents have now also been arrested in connection with the case. Kim and Deborah Clenney were arrested at their home in Austin, Texas, and taken into custody by Travis County law enforcement on a warrant out of Florida on charges of unauthorized or excessive access to a computer system, or electronic device. Now, local reports indicate that after police turned Clenney's apartment over to her parents, her father found victim Christian Obumseli's laptop and attempted to access it before turning it over to his attorneys.
Oh, what was he trying to do? Get in there and get some of that evidence off there? I don't know. It's all alleged, but let's see.
Now, this led police to believe that he was attempting to conceal evidence. Now, let's take you back to a hearing in November of 2022, where Courtney's father testified that even he knew that the relationship between Courtney and Obumseli was, quote, toxic.
Man.
It was very toxic, and I knew from the beginning that he was not treating her correctly. I saw proof with my own eyes. I heard calls between them, calls to my wife. I heard many things that a father who loves his daughter very deeply should never have to put up with.
Now, after the arrest, Courtney's attorney,
I don't know. Did you step in? Did you try to handle that situation? What do you do in that point, huh?
Frank Prieto, released this statement.
I don't know, y'all let me know.
Saying in part, we believe the Clenney family has been targeted with some trumped up charges to discredit them in the press and make their lives miserable. It stinks of a power play by prosecutors to control the narrative. Now, both the Clenney parents are still in custody in Texas, and it is unknown when they could be extradited to South Florida to face the charges. Courtney Clenney has also been charged with the same new charges as her parents, and she still remains in jail awaiting trial for the second-degree murder of Christian Obumseli. She maintains that she acted in self-defense. All right, let's bring back in my guest, still here to discuss, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Jack Rice, and former assistant state attorney and criminal defense attorney Sue Ann Robinson. All right, Sue Ann, I want to start with you. There's a claim being made here by the defense that this is a power play by the state. In fact, there's going to be a hearing tomorrow regarding a gag order, and this was their way of, again, putting information out there before this gag order comes. And really, there's no substance to these charges. What do you make?
I think it is very interesting. I think that if they're trying to get information around what she did, around what she was doing, what happened with the electronic devices, the state has very minimal ways to do it if the parents are out of state. So is it a power play? Yes, because the state has that long arm and they're exercising it in order to thoroughly do their prosecution.
You know, it's interesting, Jack, the defense attorney also said, look, this didn't need to be out there as an arrest. You could have made a phone call. We could have settled this, talked about it, figured it out. I would have brought them in. So his idea is that, again, this is some sort of way of maybe putting pressure on Clenney and the parents. Let's remember, Clenney was on the phone with her mom, right, at the time of the murder, didn't call 911 until about 14 minutes after, when the state believes these murders happened. So there could be a lot going on here.
No, I think that's...
That's crazy. So they're trying to say that the prosecution in Florida, the prosecutor's office, is just doing it to be like, well, yeah, you could have just had a phone call, but we're going to arrest you and have you extradited to Florida just because they can. That's interesting. Let's keep going.
It's clear, and I think what's also clear is that we don't know just how good that communication really is between the defense and the prosecution and exactly what they're trying to accomplish, whether or not they're getting all the cooperation that they want. All I do know is that the idea that if allegedly the family actually brought that computer to my office, my response is, yeah, I'm not touching that.
Yeah.
Because in the end, a big piece of this is that this is about evidence, and there are certain limitations when it comes to it. What you can't do is start hiding evidence. Again, it's only only an allegation at this point, but this is part of that revving up process. When you bring multiple defendants into a case, sometimes it's designed to put pressure on others. So is this a feint? It might be.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. That's what they do oftentimes, the state, in cases like this. But the thing that jumps out at me here too, Sue Ann, is that there was a computer in an apartment where a murder happened, where an investigation took place. They finally turned it over to the parents once they were done with their investigation, and there was a computer in the apartment. I'm flabbergasted.
Like they didn't find it. They did their investigation. They looked everywhere. And they were like, "Oh, yep, no, you can have this again." And then the dad finds it.
What you have to remember is initially the police and the state attorney that's now so zealously advocating was not investigating at all. They had closed this out. She was gone about her business. Remember, social media was following her and, accusing her, and she was being tried in the court of public opinion. So now they're kind of in a situation where now they've collected more evidence. Obviously, now they're focusing on her prosecution. But initially, early on, the family actually had to retain counsel in order to push the state attorneys and the investigators in this case to continue an investigation. So that's probably why there's some pieces missing early on in the case, and why a computer would be able to leave the scene, allegedly.
Fair enough. That's right. She was not immediately arrested. You're exactly right. She was allowed to leave. Quickly, Jack, do they have an obligation to turn it over?
Oh, I think if you come across something like this, you certainly can't simply hide this. That's part of the problem, but it does bring up a broader question. How good is the investigation, as we just mentioned, is if we think about the fact that they dropped this through a hole, how's the rest of this? How is this going to go?
Ooh, that's a good point. If that was able, something like a computer was able to just, wait, what? Where'd you find that? What else was possibly missed? That's a very, very good point.
When you actually get to trial, because sometimes you never know how good a case is really until you start trying to introduce evidence and you go, oh, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have that. This could be a real problem for the state. We're going to see.
I agree. Presages possible problems with their investigation and their case.
Oh, man, that is true. I don't know, y'all. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for being here, y'all. If you like the true crime stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. I'll catch you guys on the next one.